This is Chris Canterbury, and you've been listening to No Good Music.
Sweet Maria sings to me, loud and clear from the passenger seat. Every song's her favorite song, making it up as she goes along. She's a lover and a fighter, but tonight I just sit beside her and cry. Like top rhythm billboard.
Today I have a special guest with me. He's a singer-songwriter country artist who just put out his third full-length album, Quaalude Lullabies, which we'll be talking about. Let's all welcome to No Good Music, Mr. Chris Canterbury. Hear the crowd. So
my reputation precedes me.
So you're currently in Nashville?
I am, yeah.
Louisiana, originally.
Born and raised.
How long have you been in Nashville?
I think right at 10 years, I believe.
Okay.
I'm almost a little like maybe a little over November to January, 10 years.
Now, did you move there because of the music scene? Was there a reason you moved to Nashville?
It was for music. It was it's like they say this is where
Where it's at?
This is where you do. Yeah, well, this is like you don't move to Cedar Rapids to be an actor. You don't move to you don't move to so yeah, this is where the business is. So
When did you first pick up a guitar and start writing songs?
When I was 19, I believe is when I was in college. I think that was the first time I picked up a guitar. Learned how, from 19 to like 20, 21 was kind of my
So not too long ago.
Kind of
right? You're not that old.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's over 20 years ago. So
okay. Do you remember the first song you wrote?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, hold on, let me. I'm gonna take these headphones off.
Okay. As long as you can hear me.
That's not. Yeah, it's not. That's
okay.
Not working. I absolutely remember the first song I wrote, but it is not. It is so bad that I've never played it and never will.
So it's nothing you recorded. Nothing you recorded. Okay. What's your songwriting process? Is it a combination of do you write the lyrics first or the music first, or a combination?
I'm a lyrical. I'm definitely lyrics first. I feel like my strong point with songwriting is lyrics, and I just kind of my weakness is melody. So I write the lyrics and then piece the music together. But definitely spend 90% of the time on lyrics.
Are you a kitchen table poet? That's the question. Like what's the strangest place you wrote a song? I know some people, when they're sleeping or they have a notepad next to their bed. Are you one of those people, or it just comes to you? You're in your car or your truck?
I do. So an interesting thing, and my girlfriend will attest to it. I don't listen to music when I drive. I'm driving somewhere. Really? I'll listen to podcasts or like books on tape. But a lot of times if I'm driving by myself, I'll just listen. I'll drive in silence, and I get a lot of songs written, or a lot of songs started. It started in that time. I don't but to answer your question, probably the most maybe not like the strangest place, but like I've written a song underneath an overpass during a storm.
There you go.
So I mean, it was and actually one of the songs felt the same on this last album on Quaalude Lullabies. I finished it. I started it about 10 or 11 years ago, probably maybe 12 years ago, with a buddy of mine from Louisiana, and then like 5 years ago, I was driving back home from South Alabama back to Nashville, and was it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I pulled over and finished the song underneath an overpass.
Oh, wow. On your website, in your bio, you mentioned Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska. You mentioned Nebraska, but I assume it's Bruce Springsteen album. What are some artists that you look up to? I mean, are you a Bruce Springsteen fan? I'm sure there's country artists you look up to, or even when you were younger.
Yeah, man, I'm a big Springsteen fan. I celebrate the whole catalog. I do. I think I do. Nebraska it's album specific for me, but like Nebraska to me is one of the best albums I've ever heard. I've ever listened to. It's like just so.
It's raw.
It is. It's raw, but it's exactly like when the first time I heard it, I was really, really fresh into playing music. I mean, it was like I didn't really discover it till I was probably 19 or 20, and like when I heard it, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. Like this is the kind of stuff that I want to do. Heartland, rootsy. I think that's like I think Nebraska is one of the best country records ever made.
Really, and I think it was recorded in his house too. Probably.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of like just a simple when you strip down everything to like just the lyric and the melody, like that's what you get. You get that, and like I feel like he did it perfect.
Just a man and his guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's talk about your new album, and I love the title. And maybe you can tell me a little bit about how you came up with Quaalude Lullabies. That album came out last year, and like I said, it's your third album. There was a big break between your first album and your second. I don't know how long between the second and third, but I just love it.
It's actually been the same. It's been the same. It's been 5 years in between.
Oh, okay. So is there any meaning behind it, or is it just something you came up with?
I mean, I kind of have a reputation as like writing sad songs, and because I kind of write sad songs, but the idea, the title, literally, I was trying to come up with an idea that sounded cool and was kind of and explain the entire record, and it's a record full of sad songs, full of downers.
Yeah,
so
is.
Why not? They're short songs, so it's like they're Quaalude Lullabies.
I think it's a great album because you're only the second country artist we've interviewed. The other one was Jenny Doe and the Spurs. I used to say I didn't like country music, but I do. I like Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Patsy Cline, stuff like that. I listened to your album before I decided if I wanted to interview you, and I love your album. I wouldn't interview someone if I didn't have good things to say. Your voice is very strong. Lyrically, this is an incredible album. These songs, and like you said, it's a somber album. I think some people think of country music as, pickup trucks and riding horses, and this is not that kind of album. It's a beautiful album.
Yeah, I don't even own a truck, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But even the song "Fall Apart," cut my teeth on a broken heart. I don't know why. I love that line.
Two-lane roads and cheap motels sure beats the devil out of standing still. I don't know where I am. I never stayed long enough to give a damn. I hit my stride on a lonesome highway, cut my teeth on a broken heart. When the storms come rolling my way, hold me close so I don't fall apart.
That's one of my favorite. Like that's one of my favorite songs on the record, and I don't. It almost didn't make it on there because I forgot about it. I wrote it quite a few years ago with a buddy of mine, and I was going back through email trying to find an email, trying to find an email for this buddy that I wrote the song with, and that was the last thing that talked about. I went back through and listened to it. I was like, man, I completely forgot about this.
Okay. I play guitar, but I just do it as a hobby. But I'll find myself, I have songs in my phone that I have lyrics. So is that something you do too? There's notes on your phone. Like you said, when you're in your car and you're thinking up, you're not obviously writing and driving, but.
No, I'll like the best. God bless technology. It's
Are you talking to your phone?
We have text to talk, and we also I'll hum out a melody into the voice recorder, or I'll sing through lines in my head, or just say words in my voice recorder, and then or I'll open a note and just hit the microphone and start talking and let it transcribe what I'm saying. I have probably, let's see, a cursory look would say I've got 3,200 notes in my iCloud folder. Half of those are probably a grocery list, or but the other half are going to be just like they might be one line or two lines.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Lines from songs or songs that you're thinking of or haven't been written yet. So tell me a little bit about the album. Did you record this in a studio? Do you have a studio in your house? How'd you go about that? I recorded
the album at Farmland Studios in Nashville, here in Nashville. It's a little small, cozy, super cool little studio. Basically I did I kind of traded off. I wanted to try. This was this whole project was kind of a COVID project, and I traded off, bartered for studio time, for a little bit of studio time, and then had my friends come in and played as musicians and stuff like that, and kind of just worked my way into it. But yeah, we recorded it here at a studio. Caleb Fisher engineered, did a really good job. This is it was my first opportunity to produce my own record. So that was something that was interesting and new, but it was a fun project.
So you have other people on the album, because I noticed there's some drums, and I think I hear slide guitar.
Yeah, it was a full production for, I think, half of the songs, maybe 4 or 5 of the songs were full production, and then I just kind of pieced together what I wanted, kind of what was in my head with the sound. If I felt like the song didn't need drums, then we didn't put drums on it. Kind of like the song "The Devil, the Dealer, and Me." It's just a pedal steel or a lap steel, an organ, and a guitar. Or upright bass. Okay. And that's all that's on it.
On my mind, I don't want to lose it. A heart only breaks when you use it. All the things I don't want to see. The devil, the dealer, and the dark side of me. Some days some days I'm not. Some days are made to run out the clock. There's a fine line between here and there.
Yeah, I hear a female voice too on a couple of the songs.
It's Meg McCree does doing all the harmonies on there. She did a jam up job on those.
I wanted to ask you, is most of the album autobiographical, or is it just stories that?
No, it's mostly stories. It's not an autobiographical album. There are some autobiographical elements to it. The Felt the Same is pretty much 100% auto. That's an autobiography. That's definitely me.
That's my favorite song. And that's I think one of the saddest songs. And that's about this is my take, about working your ass off, not getting the recognition you deserve or the money you deserve, and lonely times on the road.
I got a show tomorrow night in Texarkana. Staring down a 14-hour drive, digging through the beer cans and Marlboro empties on the floor, hoping I might find one that'll lie. The road I'm on is cold and dark and lonely. I ain't got a penny to my name. Folks back home still think I'm gonna make it. I wish like hell I still felt the same.
One line, folks back home still think I'm gonna make it. I wish like hell I felt the same. That just got me.
I mean, that's definitely, I think I tell people that's probably the saddest song that I've ever written.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that's like, that's 100%, that's 100% me. Well, I wrote that with my buddy, Wade Reeves from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. When I was still growing up, when I was still living in Louisiana, we started it, and we had the idea, and it was, kind of pitched around. We wrote the first verse of it and kind of in half of the chorus, and then kind of let it sit. And then we moved, like I moved to Nashville, and he moved from North Louisiana to Baton Rouge, and we didn't really get a chance to work on it much. And then one night I was driving back from a festival in South Alabama. It was like 3:00 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I just made it on I-65 between Nashville and Birmingham, and hit a really rough storm, and I pulled over underneath an overpass to kind of let it pass, and the idea just hit the second verse hit me, and I finished the chorus and the verse, and I sent it to him the next day. He's like, this is perfect. But that's 100%. Like I've dealt with. I feel like any musician who does what I do, who does what we do, has had those feelings. In some capacity. It's autobiographical, but it's for everyone else too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like, Bruce Springsteen. He's been around a long time, and he's a multimillionaire now, and got to be hard to write those heartfelt songs, being in his position that he is now. But those are the best songs when you're starting out, and you see things, you feel things that, maybe someone that's very successful doesn't. I mean, maybe they do. But Bruce Springsteen's not thinking, am I going to make it? Especially that. Is this your, don't take this the wrong way, but is this your full-time job? What other interests do you have? Because you put out 3 albums. Do you tour constantly, or there's something in between that you do? It's been a full-time job for the past 10 years. Since I've been in Nashville, it's been my full-time job. I do have a side hustle, like a side gig. I hate calling it a hustle. It's a side job. I'm a graphic designer, and I've been doing that for ages. I've been doing it for longer than I've been playing music. Mm-hmm. Before COVID, I did, I played music. I would work on a few design projects every year, just kind of the ones I wanted to work on. What kind of design?
I mostly do, I do a ton of band logos. I do a ton of album art.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. And I just kind of general design, like illustrations, things like that. Oh. I do, but when COVID hit and touring shut down, I kind of felt I had something to fall back on. So, but the business kind of picked up tremendously, and now I split my time between the two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving, like I'm leaning more like with this album. It's been tough to really hang on to doing that full time. So it's now I kind of I pick the jobs that I want to do. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of work for my friends and a lot of the folks in my community here.
Okay.
But that's my side gig. It goes the creativity kind of goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. Did you design your? I noticed your name on your website. It's got kind of a cool design to it.
Oh yeah, I did. I did my album art.
I like the album cover because that's like a throwback.
Right. I can do I have the ability to do my own album art. Saves me money there. My girlfriend is a photographer. She took the pictures for it.
Okay.
We work together on a lot of stuff like that.
I own a print shop, believe it or not.
Nice.
Me and another person, and she's our graphic designer. She doesn't do but she does computer. She designs logos and for companies, and we do brochures.
That's kind of my also during for the last couple of years. That's kind of been the doing band logos and just doing like general logos has been pretty. Business has been pretty good with that kind of deal. It's like they're fairly simple to they're fairly simple. The return on investment's very well. So.
Mm-hmm. Is that word of mouth, or you do it online? You have a website for that?
I have an Instagram account for it, but it's mostly just word of mouth. I feel like if it's more than word of mouth, then it's too much to handle with
the music and the
tour. With music and touring and stuff. So.
Yeah. You put too much time into that, you might not be writing songs and
exactly.
So when you're on the road, is it just you and a guitar? I saw a video of you and a woman on stage. I don't know if that's the girl that sang on the album. It's weird. I forget what the song was, but she's just standing there with a guitar because maybe there's probably more to the show where she's singing, but that particular song.
No, it's most of the time I tour. I have the ability to tour. I do tour full band and solo. The best part about being a singer-songwriter is that you can go out to places and rooms that'll pay you to come out and play by yourself. You don't have to deal with taking a band with you. But I do both. I think the video you're probably talking about, it's probably Erin Enderlin. She's a songwriter here in town. We have a tour that we've kind of branded as, or that we have branded as the Motel Poets series. It's basically us going out and playing solo songs. Like we'll just swap songs off, for 90 minutes and tell stories and things like that. But that's kind of that's my more of my vibe and the kind of what the songs lend themselves to. I'm actually working on a new, I'm in the process of working on a new record.
Oh, okay.
That I feel like it's gonna be more band driven. It's gonna be more like a little more swampy, more upbeat.
Have you ever thought of going on one of these shows like The Voice or American Idol? I don't like American Idol, but or America's Got Talent or something like that.
Man, I haven't. I've never really watched them, and I've never really. I feel like what they do and what I do is two different things.
Okay.
So it's.
But you like what you're doing.
I like what I do. Someone told me a few years ago that like when we were talking about doing playing gigs and like what was the goal, and this guy said, he's like, man, if I could put 75 people a night 5 nights a week, and if I could put 75 people at $50 a ticket 5 nights a week, he goes I could live my life happy. And like, that's
just make a living and not have people tell you what to do too. Not everybody wants to be famous. I mean, the money's good, I would say, when you're playing bigger places, but there's a lot of
it's
other
good.
stuff comes with it.
Money's nice. You got to have it, but I like the simplicity I like the intimacy of a small room over a large venue anytime. So,
who would you like to play with or open up for, or have you opened up for anybody that's big?
I mean, if Willie Nelson was to call tomorrow, I wouldn't turn him down.
Yeah,
but I've opened up for I've got a pretty good resume when it comes to that. There's a venue in Baton Rouge. It's a listening room that's had me play. That's opened up for some larger names. But like on the list, I've opened for Guy Clark. I've opened for Steve Earle.
Okay.
Chris Knight. There's quite a few. There's quite a few people in my scene that I've played with, that I've had the opportunity to play with, and it's been nice. It was a blessing to be able to play with these people that I look up to.
Yeah, Steve Earle, I've heard of. I like Steve Earle. Have you played like the East Coast? I'm in New Jersey.
I have actually. I've played New York. I played Brooklyn. I played a little festival there back in 2019. It was interesting. The name of the festival escapes me, but it was a little like music and like tech festival. But as far as the East Coast goes, I've never played. I've done a couple of West Coast tours, like just individual, like solo tours, and I just got back from Colorado 2 days ago from a festival there. I'm leaving in 3 days, going to Key West for another festival.
Yeah, you were in Key West last month, weren't you? Or you were in Florida?
I was in Key West at the first of December, and while I was there, they, like, when we were pulling into town, they told us that they got the message that the internet for the entire Keys had gone down.
Oh. There's a couple places near me that would be good for you. One's Sellersville, Pennsylvania, Sellersville Theater. Like if you ever did a East Coast tour, seats about 300, not a big one.
Nice.
And there's a place called the Outpost in the Burbs. It's a church. I saw Beth Orton there recently. Like the Smithereens have played there, New Jersey band. But the show you played, I think last weekend, was that on a boat, a steamboat, or is that just the name? It wasn't on a steamboat. It was at a ski resort in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Oh, okay.
It's the Music Fest at Steamboat. This is my second time to play it. It's a really cool like Texas centric festival, but it's a nice change of scenery to get up there into the mountains for a week.
Any stories you can tell me about being on the road? Anything? I'm sure you have, or a story.
I mean, I wouldn't know where to start. I've actually been thinking about doing a podcast. Me and a buddy of mine have thought about doing a podcast and just call it the Parking Lot.
Okay.
That's just like stories that happen. It's like have musicians come on and tell stories that the statute of limitations have run out on for anything incriminating.
You could record it in a parking lot too.
Yeah, exactly. It's but I don't know. I don't really have any. I'm a pretty boring person. I don't drink anymore, and I have it. So usually when I'm done playing, I'm back to the hotel and asleep and watching TV or watching TV.
So no,
but the only thing that I can think of is story wise is when I was playing, I got playing one night, and I think I was leaving New Orleans or Baton Rouge, headed driving north, and I was just going to drive for a few hours. And I came around a curve on interstate, and there was a bunch of a ton of cops. So I thought it was an accident, but it turns out it was a small jet was having to make an emergency landing.
Wow.
So I got to see that. Other than that, I don't really have any. Nothing's coming to me.
Okay. It's great talking to you, Chris. Listeners can check out your website, CHRISCanterburyMusic.com. You've got shirts on there, CDs, vinyl, albums, and you're on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, kind of all of the social things. I'm way more active on Instagram than I am on either, probably Instagram and Twitter. I should check my Facebook more, but it's I'm not on there as much as I probably should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly if you want to hit me up on Instagram or Twitter.
It's great talking to you. Hope you had a
thanks for having me on, man.
Great rest of the day.
I'm gonna go back to resting on the couch.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. Okay. Bye.
I saw her selling roses in a parking lot in Memphis, wearing all those memories from a life so long ago. Her hair had faded silver, but her eyes were still like diamonds, bluer than the ocean, deeper than the sky. She'd get high and sing songs about a savior and pray one day to save her. Somewhere down the line she would cry and listen to the Beatles among the dirty needles and the cobwebs in her mind. Oh, my sweet Evangeline.
You've been listening to No Good Music. Today's interview was produced and edited by Jim Thatcher and recorded via Zoom at the Did You Say 7 Studios in Washington, New Jersey. You can find No Good Music on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Pandora, and almost anywhere you listen to podcasts. The song Sweet Maria, Fall Apart, Felt the Same, The Devil, the Diller, and Me, and Evangeline, used with permission from Chris Canterbury.